So we are doing straight line, the equation of a straight line and coordinate geometry. Before I go to coordinate geometry, it is very important for us to understand what is a Cartesian plane. Okay, this plane is called the Cartesian plane. So when I talk about Cartesian plane, it is a graph in 2 dimensions. When I say it is a graph in 2 dimensions, the 2 dimensions is the horizontal line and the vertical line, which is labeled as x and y. So Cartesian plane is nothing but a graph in 2 dimension, which is labeled as x and y. So when I say it is labeled as x and it is labeled as y, the horizontal line is called the x-axis and the vertical line is called the y-axis. So what is a Cartesian plane? It is a graph in 2 dimensions. The 2 dimensions are x and y. The horizontal axis is the x-axis, that is this one. The vertical axis is the y-axis. Okay, and this axis, that is my x-axis, and the y-axis, they meet at a point which is called the origin. And the origin is 0. And the coordinates of the origin would be 0, 0. So the x coordinate would be 0 and the y coordinate would be 0. This Cartesian plane is labeled as anything over here. This is 0. So something to the right of the origin would be your positive numbers. Something to the left of the origin would be your negative numbers, like -1, -2, -3, -4. And something on the top of the origin would be your positive numbers. Something below the origin to the bottom of the origin would be your negative numbers. -2, -3, -4. So a graph with 2 dimensions is the Cartesian plane, horizontal line x-axis, vertical line y-axis. The x-axis and y-axis meets at a point that is called the origin, and the origin has 0. The coordinates of the origin would be 0 and 0. That is, the x coordinate would be 0 and the y coordinate would also be 0. If I say I want to plot x equal to 4, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. The place where both the axes meet is 0. If I want to plot something where x is equal to 4, that means they are telling that the y is equal to 0. X equal to 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is the point where the x is equal to 0. And if I have to plot it, I would name this point A and I can draw the line. The line would look something like this, which is passing through 4. So any point over here on this, any point on this line would have the x coordinate as 4 and the y coordinate would be 0. Are you with me? X equal to 4. X equal to 4. Okay, but the y coordinate would be 0 if it is lying on the x-axis. Let's say plot x is equal to 9. X equal to 9. So I'm plotting it, x is equal to 9. Y coordinate is 0. The line would look something like this. Any point on this line would have its x coordinate as 9, and the y coordinate would be 0 if it is on the x axis. If it is anywhere up or down, it depends. So, what will be the equation of a vertical line? This is x is equal to 9. So, any vertical line that you have, the equation of it would be x is equal to 9. Can you give me the equation of the line that is over here? The equation of the line over here is x is equal to 4. Can you plot x is equal to minus 2? Minus 2. X is equal to minus 2. X is equal to minus 2. So the equation of this line is x is equal to minus 2. The y coordinate is 0. Okay. We can see where it crosses the x-axis, the y coordinate will be 0. So equation of a vertical line would always be x is equal to something. Equation of a vertical line will be always x is equal to something. We had x equal to 4, x equal to 5, x equal to 9, x equal to minus 9. So this would be equation of a vertical line. We can draw this 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can draw this, the first one, x equal to 4. Second one, x equal to 5. Equation of a vertical line would always be x equal to something. The third one, x equal to, we'll say minus 9. So this is how you plot a line. An equation of a vertical line would always be x is equal to something. Straight line. Straight line, that means the horizontal line. So equation of this, if you see, it is intersecting the y-axis at 5. So equation of this line would be y is equal to 5. Here, equation of the x-axis, y is equal to 0. Here, y is equal to minus 3. And for this equation of this line is y is equal to minus 7. So we said that equation of a line that is vertical is x is equal to something. Equation of a line that is horizontal. Equation of a line that is horizontal is y is equal to something. Now let's talk about the equation of a diagonal line. If I have a diagonal line that slopes upwards from the left to the right, if I have a diagonal line that slopes upwards from the left to the right and it passes through the origin, then in that case, the x coordinate will always be equal to the y coordinate. You can take any point and check. If I have this line that is sloping upwards from the left to the right, I will take a point over here, any point on this line. The x coordinate over here is 5. The y coordinate is 5. So if I have a diagonal line that goes upwards from the left to the right, the x coordinate will always be equal to the y coordinate. You see, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 5. Take any other point. x is equal to 8. So the y will also be equal to 8. Okay, so here x is here the point 8, 8. Here this will be the x coordinate and this will be the y coordinate, and the x coordinate will always be equal to the y coordinate, but the condition is that it should pass through the origin. So the line slopes upward from left to right, and the equation of that line will be y is equal to x, or you can write it vice versa. It will be a positive equation, and this is called a positive slope. Positive slope, that means it covers this is called the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. That means it covers the fourth and the second quadrant. This line has a positive slope. Okay, it is sloping upwards. So the equation would be y is equal to x. But if the line slopes upwards from where? From left to right. Slopes downwards from left to right, then it will be a negative slope, and the equation of it would be y is equal to minus x. So if it is on the first and third quadrant, then the equation is y is equal to minus x. But if it is on the second and the fourth quadrant, then the equation is y is equal to x, or vice versa. The x coordinate will always be equal to the y coordinate. X coordinate will always be equal to the y coordinate. Condition is that it should pass through the origin. Now I have 6 things over here. I have to give the equation of it. Equation of the vertical line would be what? X is equal to something. Equation of a horizontal line will be y is equal to something. Come on. The first one. Equation of this line. Horizontal line. It is intersecting the y-axis on 4. So the equation of this line is y is equal to 4. Second one, what is the equation of this line? Y is equal to 0. See, on the y-axis it is 0. On the y-axis it is 4. X-axis it is on the 0. Come on, equation of this line. It is x is equal to 0. Equation of this line, the fourth one. On the x-axis, it is intersecting at point -6. So x is equal to -6. So our first equation was y is equal to 4. Equation of the second line is y is equal to 0. Equation of the third line is x is equal to 0. Equation of the fourth line is x is equal to -6. Equation of the make it this the sixth line. The fifth line, y is equal to x, and equation of the sixth line, that is this one, will be y is equal to -x. Okay, if the diagonal line crosses the origin, the slope, that is m, will always be 0. Slope of a line. Slope of a line is called m. And what does a slope indicate? A slope indicates how steep the line will be and the direction in which the line goes. If I have a positive slope, okay, m will be positive. If I have a negative slope, m will be So if I have a positive slope, m will be positive and the line will go up. The line will go up from left to right. Example is m is equal to 2. If I have a negative slope, m will be negative. Say for example, m is equal to minus 3 and here the line goes down from left to right. If I have zero slope, that means m is equal to 0 and the line will be horizontal. Okay. And if I have an undefined slope, okay, so line is vertical. If the line is horizontal, m is 0, there is no slope. And if it is vertical, it is an undefined slope. Now, come on, tell me what do you understand by x-intercept and y-intercept? When I say x-intercept, it means the point at which the line crosses the x-axis. If I say y-intercept, that means the point at which the line will cross the y-axis. So you should know very clearly what is x-intercept, what is y-intercept. Okay. Now you have to plot this graph where the equation is y is equal to 3x minus 2. Now you should know this very clearly. If y is equal to 3x minus 2, my slope. First you should know that the equation of a straight line. What is the equation of a straight line? Okay, it is y is equal to mx plus c, where m is nothing but it is the slope of the line. So my slope over here is m. Okay, what is the y-intercept? This minus 2 will become the y-intercept. Okay, now when I talk about the graph would be a line with a positive slope and it crosses the y-axis at 0, comma minus 2. So my first thing is that it is going to cross the y-axis at 0. So 0 is over here, 0 for x and minus 2 over here. So the first point is over here. Now I have to see the second and the third point. How will I find the second and the third point? Okay, so I have to find my x coordinate and y coordinate. And the first thing when I said that x coordinate will be 0, so y will be minus 2. Next one, if x is 1, or I could say if x is 3, you can take any random number. What will be y? So I have to solve and I have to find out y. My equation over here is y is equal to 3x minus 2. If x is 3, so in place of x, I will put 3. So y is equal to 3, 3 minus 2. 3 3s are 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. So y will be 7. So when x is 3, y is 7. So when x is 3, y will be 7. So when x is 3, y is 7. So my second point will be over here. Now I have to plot this on the graph. So if I'm plotting it on the graph, it will be a positive slope, and I know the positive slope will be in the, this is first, second, third, and fourth. Because the slope is positive, m is positive, so it will be a line which will cover the second and the fourth quadrant, will cover the second and the fourth quadrant. So this line would look something like this, which is covering these points. So this is the slope of the line y is equal to 3x minus 2. Okay, let's take it with another example. I know the equation of my line is what? Equation of my line is y is equal to minus 2 plus 5. So if y is equal to minus 2 plus 5, my slope is negative. That is, it is minus 2. The y-intercept will be 5. Okay, slope is negative, negative slope, which will cross the y-axis at 0, 5. Now, I have to find another point to draw the graph. So the equation is y is equal to minus 2x plus 5. I have to find the x coordinate and the y coordinate. One, I got it from the equation itself. X coordinate will be 0 and y coordinate will be 5. Since the slope is negative, so it will be a diagonal line which will cover the first and the third quadrant. I have to find the other point. Put x as 1. Substitute it in the equation. Y is equal to minus 2x plus 5. So it will be minus 2 ones are plus 5. So it will become minus 2 plus 5. Minus 2 plus 5 is nothing but it is positive 3. So my first point would be x is 0 and y is 5. X is 0 and y is 5. Second is x is 1 and y is 3. X is 1 and y is 3. You should know very clearly it is a negative slope, so it will cover the first and the third quadrant. Okay, but this looks very steep slope. You need at least 2 points to plot the graph, and that is why we substitute. We take any imaginary figure as x and we find y so that we can make the line. And the line is y is equal to minus 2x plus 5. Let's do another example. I have to find the equation of the line where y is equal to 4. You know that the equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c. But here I have been directly given y is equal to 4. That means the slope is 0. If y is equal to something, if I say y is equal to 4, that means it is a horizontal line which is crossing the y-axis. So since y is equal to 4, it is a horizontal line. Y is equal to 4 and the y-intercept is 4. I hope you are with me. Here, y is equal to minus half x plus 1. Slope is minus half. Y-intercept is 1. So the graph will be a negative slope with the coordinates of 0, 1, x coordinate 0, y coordinate 1. Now to make the equation, I need 2 points. So the equation of the line is y is equal to minus half x plus 1, x coordinate and y coordinate. 1 I got from the equation itself. X is 0, y is 1. Now I can take x as 2. Try to solve. Y is equal to minus half x plus 1. I'm substituting x as 2. So minus half into 2 plus 1. So it is minus 1 plus 1. Minus 1 plus 1 gets nullified. So x will be 0. So to plot this, and x is 0, y is 1. X is 0, y is 1. This will be my first point. And when y is x is 2, y is 0. Since it is a negative slope, it will cover which axis? It will cover the first and the third quadrant. It is a negative slope. This would look something like this. Please say when x was 0, y is 1. Y is 1. X is 0. And when x is 2, y is 0. So it will be a line with a negative slope. A line with the negative slope covers the first and the third quadrant. I'll do one more example. Y is equal to x. Normal equation of the line is y is equal to mx plus c. Normal equation of the line is y is equal to mx plus c. But they say y is equal to x, it means m is 1. M is 1. It is a positive slope. Y-intercept is 0. So y-intercept is 0. So since y-intercept is 0, the line would cross the origin. X is 0, y is 0. So the line would cross the origin with a slope 1. I need another point. Y is equal to x. So I want the x coordinate and y coordinate. When x is 0, y is 0. When x will be 3, y will be 3. So when x is 0, y is 0. When x is 3, y is 3. You know that any line that crosses the origin will have the x coordinate equal to the y coordinate. X is 3, y is 3, x is 3, y is 3. So this would be the next point. So the equation of this line is y is equal to x. It covers the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant. But if it covers the first and the third quadrant, the equation of the line would be y is equal to minus x. Let's take the next one. I have y is equal to minus 3x minus 4. So slope of the line will be minus 3. Y-intercept will be minus 4. Y-intercept would be minus 4. X-intercept is 0. So that means it is a diagonal line with a negative slope. Okay. And the coordinates would be what? The coordinates would be y-intercept is minus 4. So the coordinates would be minus 4, 0. I have to find another coordinate also. So equation is y is equal to minus 3x minus 4. X coordinate and y coordinate. When y is minus 4, x is 0. Now you can take any value for x. You can take x is 3. So when x is 3, y will be how much? So minus 3. In place of x, I will put 3 minus 4. So 3 3s are 9, minus 9, minus 4. So this would be minus 9, 10, and minus 13. It's becoming very big. Let's change it. I don't have place on the graph. I will take x as 1. So when x is 1, y will be minus 3, 1, minus 4. So minus 3, minus 4, minus 7. So y will be minus 7. You know this has a negative slope. So it will cover the first and the third quadrant. First one, 0 minus 4. 0 minus 4. Second, 1 minus 7. So 1 is over here. Minus 7 over here on the y coordinate. So 1 minus 7. Since it has a negative slope, it will be a diagonal line that will be covering the first and the third quadrant. So the equation of this line is y is equal to minus 3x minus 4. Now you have more work to do. You can try these sums first, second, third, fourth. Okay. We look over here. We'll just write the y-intercept and this. Slope is positive, that is 0.5. Y-intercept would be 3. So the graph will be a positive slope, that is a diagonal line. Y-intercept is 3, x-intercept 0. And second coordinates you will have to find out. Slope is minus 4. It is a negative slope. Y-intercept would be 2. Graph would be at y-intercept 2, x-intercept is 0. Since it is a negative slope, it will cover the first and the third quadrant. You'll have to pause and do it. Slope is positive, slope is 2. Y-intercept is 6. It will be a positive slope covering the second and the fourth quadrant. Y-intercept is 6. X-intercept would be 0. Second point you have to find. Slope is minus 1. It's a negative slope. It will cover the first quadrant and the third quadrant. It will cover the first quadrant and the third quadrant. Y-intercept will be 8. Graph would be 0 minus 8, negative slope. So it will cover the first and the third quadrant. So this is all about plotting a straight line. Equation of the line. What is an equation of the line? Equation of the line that is horizontal is y is equal to something. Equation of a line that is vertical is x is equal to something. Equation of a line with a normal equation of a line is y is equal to mx plus c. This will be the y-intercept, and this will be the slope of the line. M will be the slope of the line. If M is positive, then it will be on the second and fourth quadrant, your line. That is a diagonal line. If M is negative, then again your line would be a diagonal line. It would be a diagonal line which will cover the first and third quadrant. If M is 0, that means it has no slope. Okay. So you need to know this very clearly. Go through this video, plot the diagrams.